about family law here today on Kababayan LA, specifically child support and child custody. We have our Kababayan lawyers joining us, Attorney Karina Castañeda, our criminal defense lawyer, and Attorney Manny Ibe, a family lawyer. And they're giving free legal advice today on the show. Also, if you call in, they can talk to you. Tom is our first caller on the line, joining us from Los Angeles. Hi, Tom.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Attorney Karina and Attorney Manny Ibe here. What's your question?
Well, my wife and I entered into a judgment of divorce in January, which awarded joint legal and physical custody. I have weekly visitation rights, and she has indicated without going through the court process that she is going to take our son and reside in another state starting at the end of next week, and I'm wondering if she's able to do that.
I just did a case like that 2 weeks ago, and she's got to jump through a bunch of hoops, but it is possible. In my particular situation, what I did is we really worked it out so that the mother could stay here. I mean, she basically wanted more money, and that's what happened. She ended up getting more money for child support because she wanted to move to Indiana, and she claimed that I can't afford to live in California because it's way more expensive, which was true. I mean, she was just barely getting by. So we avoided that situation by working out a better deal, and now she's getting more money and she's staying. If that can't happen in your case, because you're awarded joint physical and legal custody, she needs to show you. I mean, she's going to have to go to court and file an order to show cause, asking for the judge to change his order, to modify the order so that she will have primary custody. Now, I don't know how hard she's willing to do that, but she can't just take them because it's going to be a crime for her to take your kids out of state. She's going to need to go to court to get that order modified.
Okay, and so that's where you come in. Say, for example, the wife, okay, stubborn wife, just left next week, end of next week, right? And what can he do? What can Tom do?
Tom should go to the police and bring a copy of his court order and said, you know, because he does have at that point, and there may be an issue of kidnapping, right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And before we proceed, very quickly, let's define legal custody and physical custody. What does that mean?
Well, I'll punt to Manny.
Well, I'm sure she knows the same answer that I do, but legal custody is who's making decisions as far as kids' health, schools, right, that kind of stuff, money decisions. The physical custody is just who's got the kid with them at the time. And if you've got joint physical custody, like our caller here, that means that there's, you know, you both have custody of the kid.
So
and
that's
it's up
when the kids go back and forth, his house, your house, and stuff like that,
yes,
correct? Okay. Rudy is our next caller. Hi, Rudy.
Hi.
Magandang hapon, kamusta po?
Ito po, ma'am, kasi po palagi po akong nanonood itong channel na to.
Maraming salamat po.
Ito po kasi sinubaybayan ko po ito. Sana, makuha ko sana po yung
problem. Does it have anything to do with family law? Okay, the line got cut. But that's the number to call on the screen. If you want to call us, and still if you have questions about family law and child custody, child support. When you mentioned earlier, okay, when does it become a crime? So let's say, for example, kanina we were talking about Francois, his case, okay, the husband of Salma Hayek. When does it become a crime? Like, I hear now, like, he doesn't really want to pay the $49,000 child support monthly to
Well,
Linda.
I don't think there's been an order yet, okay? But let's say that there's a child support order and he keeps ignoring it, he evades in paying it. There's case laws, I mean, federal and state, and the Department of Justice will probably go after him because jurisdictionally he's abroad. Okay. Okay? And California as well. But they can go, they usually like to prosecute those who will not, but can pay for child support.
Okay, if you're just refusing, right?
Right. Okay. And if your dad's making $16 billion, it's pretty hard to say you can't pay, you know.
49,000.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let's talk about that. Whose laws do the courts follow? Let's say, for example, and this happens a lot of our kababayans. Let's say the husband leaves the family in the Philippines with no intention to separate, but then he moves here, works here, falls in love here, starts a family here, and then just cuts the remittance to the Philippines, to his family there. It happens a lot. Wife and children left there with no income or whatsoever. Can they go after the husband or wife who's here?
I don't know if the Philippines, that we do have a treaty with certain countries. The Child Support Act, or there's certain treaties, and especially if you go to the Department of Child Support Services, they can. It's called an interstate and department, and they can assist you in trying to find a way. But see, the family is in the Philippines, so they're going to have to do jurisdictionally file these cases in the Philippines and request the assistance of the United States government in enforcing these court orders if there was a court order there.
Right.
Keep in mind, there's not even a divorce yet.
Right. What if let's say they contact you via email and see, can you represent us? What can you do for them? Can you file something here as their representative?
Normally, in order to start a case like this, you need to prove that you're a resident of the county of Los Angeles for 6 months. So I would say, I mean, if the guy, let's say, is here and he has a lot of money, the best thing to do is to get over here and to go ahead and file your case once you get here, if that's
even
possible.
Even as a tourist, even as a tourist, they come here and they talk to a lawyer and file something.
Well, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, at least you started already. And speaking of proving something, there's something that you need to prove in order to at least proceed even the first step for child support, and that is, you were saying earlier, paternity.
But, you know, there's a lot of default judgments. What that is, let's say, you know, the other party wasn't present and the court proceeded to making you the father and ordering child support, and then at a later time you find out because your passport can't be renewed that you're a father to a child and you have arrearages in the $50,000 range or something.
Wow.
I mean, that happens all the time.
Right.
Right?
Okay, we'll talk a little bit about that also when we return on the show. Still taking your phone calls. That's the number to call on the screen. Don't go away.